Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Doris. This is Tina.
Hi, Mom.
I'm TJ.
I'm Lauren.
Andy, again.
So we have a couple questions that were posted on a couple of the old videos. So we're going to address those questions, and we have some new ones as well. And if you have any questions for future Dear Doris columns, just post on the bottom of this video or any other video, and we'll check all the comments.
Or also the Instagram.
Yeah, we
Lauren
also
set
have
up
our
an
Instagram.
Who gives a hoot for who gives a fadoodle?
I'm not in tune with that, so that'll be on her side if you leave comments or questions on that.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
As you can tell, I look fabulous today. I have a haircut.
He does look nice
He
with
does.
his haircut. We don't like it shaggy looking.
Listen, and anybody that wants to respond, yes, we love the haircut.
Yes, please do.
Please
Or
do.
there will be a picture on my Facebook that has the long hair, which I love and I miss. But let's get started. Should we all go just one down?
Yeah, just
on the
start at
list?
the beginning.
Well, Tina,
No, okay.
Well, should we all say
That
the
doesn't
question?
matter. I don't know.
Okay. Well, here's the first question for Dear Doris. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? We'll start with my mom.
Oh gosh, this has put me on the spot. Hold on a minute, I gotta think about it.
Is this a physical or like personality
It just says change
trait?
one thing about yourself, so it could be anything. If she won't go, I can go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I like to put myself down a lot for stuff that, I don't know, sometimes it's physical or my mental capacity. Like, my self-worth is really bad, so I always...
Your self-esteem.
Yeah, my self-esteem and self-worth is something I would love to change. If I could see myself as other people see me, I would like that, but I always see the negatives as opposed to positive. I think that there's a lot of people that do that, but I do it to an extreme level where it puts me into a bad depression, so I'd rather just
Not have to do
not have to do that and just see what people see me as instead of me seeing all the negatives. So that would be what I would change, is my self-worth and self-esteem.
Okay, that's actually a very good one.
Lauren?
I would stand up for myself more.
Yeah, you are very laid back, and I agree.
I let things just go.
Yeah.
She's not a
bad
pushover.
way.
Her and I are opposites in that sense, where I think, honestly, I could work on maybe not saying what I think so much. I mean, I think it's always important to be honest, though. That's something I advocate for. No reason not to tell the truth, but sometimes you don't have to say it, and I need to work on that, and you need to say it more. Physically, though,
I think
I'd love to have white teeth.
Oh.
I think even being fat, I'd rather be fat and have nice big white teeth. I mean, personally,
I thought it's white teeth too.
white teeth.
I just want some fake teeth
You can get fake white teeth.
so I can jingle them like my grandmother did.
Be like a party trick. All right, Tina.
Okay, at this stage in my life, right? I mean, the question is,
Well, could you change one thing about
She
yourself?
would have liked to not have 6 children.
no, that's not true. But at this point in my life, if I could change one thing, I would probably have like a tummy tuck and a boob lift.
Because of her 6 children.
No, but I
It's
just
just so
feel
you
like,
feel confident, make you feel good, confident.
yeah, I mean, things are still okay, but if I could improve on them, that would
Well,
be
I
great.
think you look great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, she does look great. So her saying tummy tuck, I'm
I
here looking
know.
like, God, she must think I need an exorcism.
Who? Yeah, she's all right.
It's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
All
Hi,
right.
boo. Oh, watch out for that.
Where is your dad?
Prickly, prickly.
Daddy!
Okay, on to the next question, everyone. Now,
Watch out for
this
this.
one is a little strange. So this one's like a multi-purpose one because there's one that's going to be similar down the line, but it is different. If you could meet anyone, dead or living, who would it be and why?
Meet them or
Meet them, like physically
have time
meet them.
with them.
Well, yeah, you would meet them. So if you could
Somebody you don't know or somebody you have met?
it could be living or dead.
Yeah,
I
but
think
somebody
we all
you
have
know
the
that you'd
same
like to
person.
see
What I'm
again.
saying is, could I say my mom?
Well, yeah. If you want to meet, well,
I've
I
already met
think
her.
we'd all say Nanny
Well,
about
yeah,
that
but
dead.
the-
Well,
let's
I
just-
would pick my mom.
well, let's fix it where it's anyone you don't like.
You don't know.
You've never met someone you've never met, living or dead. Who would you want to meet if you were able to? I would love to meet Martin Luther King Jr. He was a phenomenal speaker. He did a lot for civil rights and other rights as well, but not as much for the gay rights. But
Only one step at a time, TJ.
But I think if he would have continued his life, I think he
Oh,
actually would
yeah.
have progressed. Everyone equally would have had what he was rooting for just not just the blacks and whites, but for everyone in general. So I would love to meet. If I could, I would love to meet him.
Okay.
Anyone else? Who would you like to meet?
I'd like to meet Walt Disney.
Ooh.
I heard he was a little creepy though.
Oh, well, I mean...
Well, who wasn't? Who isn't?
Well, I think that would have been neat, you know,
Yeah.
all the wonderful.
Well, I
you
think
know.
everybody stemmed, I guess, from Disney in some way.
Yeah.
So I would like to
Yeah.
meet him.
All right. I can't even think of
Well,
anyone
it's
I
not
want.
a real person, but Jamie Fraser.
Who's that?
Oh, from Outlander.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
that
God,
is.
he's a Scot and he's lovely. I would have loved to have gone back in time.
So it doesn't
like
have to be
Claire.
a dead person.
He is
Dead or
well.
living.
He's not even
Okay.
real, but it takes place, you know, in history back in years ago.
Oh, Lord.
I would have loved to have met him.
Honestly, you're gonna have to skip me. I can't.
Oh,
think of
you
anybody.
have
Anybody.
to. Anyone.
You don't have like a celebrity or a
You don't have a
philanthropist or
celebrity that
or like
you're-
some type of crush.
Adam
you-
Levine.
Bradley Cooper, perhaps.
There you go.
I'd like to meet him, but I mean that's
Adam
about it.
Levine.
I mean,
Lady
Mother
Gaga?
Teresa.
Lady Gaga. That's
Yeah.
good, Lauren. I'll tell you. I'll meet Lady Gaga.
Yeah, she'd be cool.
Yeah,
She'd be
I
fun.
love Lady Gaga.
All right. Next question. If you could be a superhero, what would be your power?
I'd like to breathe underwater.
Ooh,
Like
that'd
a
be a good
mermaid.
one. Yeah.
I guess that wouldn't be a superpower. I mean, I like to be a mermaid. But breathing underwater, I think
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I'd like to be like Bewitched. You guys probably don't even
Like a
remember
witch.
that show.
Yeah.
No,
Twinkle
but
the
she
nose.
used to twinkle her nose and like clean everything, or
Like
she
her
would
mother
make
Endora.
So you'd like to be a witch?
No, I'd like to have the not a witch, but I'd like to
That's
have
what
the
witches do,
ability
not a bad
to
witch.
clean
We're
up,
not
make
saying the
food,
Wicked Witch of the West.
straighten up everything
Snap
with
her
just
fingers.
a
Yeah.
little
Twitch of her
deet,
nose.
deet, deet on my nose.
I'll tear
But
us
she's
all.
more like Endora.
Who's Andorra? Her mother? Why
Yes.
do I like her? She was mean.
Moving on, TJ.
Why, TJ? She was mean.
No, the mean one was, what was that?
Andorra,
The head,
her
no,
mother.
the head queen of all witches. I forget her name. If you remember who she is, I can't. There was Endora was like one of the main head powerful witches, but there was one ahead of her that was the head of the whole group, and I forget her name.
Okay.
I don't know. But that's who my mom would be, Endora. Not
I
for the
wouldn't
mean
be
quality.
Endora.
No, she would be the Endora person because that's just her personality. She'd be more like, I don't know.
Okay, what's your superpower?
It goes back to what I would change about myself. I would give people self-confidence. If I could just take away the bad stuff in you, doesn't matter if it was your weight, your looks, whatever in your mind
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
keeping
you could
you
Suck
away.
some weight out. That'd be lovely.
Well, no, it's all a mental power. Like if I could
Oh, just
train
mental
you
noise.
to say that
To be
you-
happy with
That's a
yourself.
very
be happy with
nice
yourself.
answer, but
It's not a TJ
it's too
answer.
selfless. I like.
Or I would like to be invisible, so I could
Yeah.
just bye-bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Go to some locker rooms.
I don't know. I think.
Well,
I think
Ew.
flying would be fun.
fly.
But I also think being able to read people's minds would be fun too.
Ew,
I do.
that could be
That's
freaky
dangerous.
too.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, that would help people out. Be like, freak, freak. Be like, help, help. We got one.
Okay, this is a question that one of my siblings put into the mix, And she wrote in, what would be the worst thing to hear before going under anesthesia? Well, I have been under, well, I guess what would you call it? General anesthesia is what I had for my surgery. I think I'd be a little nervous if I heard, well, it looks worse than we thought. I don't think he's gonna make it.
I think have the paddles ready wouldn't sound so good either. Just saying.
You said yours earlier.
Yeah. TJ, again, I have to be careful with some of that stuff.
I think if they say something about like my daughter or something, like if something was happening, like, oh well, we need to go tell her family that this may not end well.
Go call the
Yeah.
mortuary.
Or who, does she have any children? Does she have a husband? Does
Next
she...
of kin.
Or it could be, I don't think I gave him anesthesia. I think it was formaldehyde.
Jeez Louise.
This is my first day.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We're skipping another.
She's a potty pooper.
This one she'll answer. She'll go first for this one. If you could travel to any place in the world, where would you go?
I'd like to go to Morocco. I just love the spices there and the colors and.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, well, I'd love to live in Tuscany, but I'd like to visit Morocco. That's one of the places I'd like to go.
Ooh, Scotland again.
Oh.
I'd go back to Costa Rica.
What about you?
Mine's weird. I would want to go to Mongolia.
Oh, what's in Mongolia?
It's the different type of Chinese culture or Asian culture that has been around for longer than the United States and any civilization here has ever been. I would just like to see that type of culture. They live longer lives, they eat better than we do, and they're mainly their own little country that does not really...
Right, separated from the rest of the world.
I just want to see, that would be nice, just to not even worry about anything, politics or whatever. They just are their own little, quiet little area. Just be nice. And it's cold, so I like the cold.
Oh, I like the cold too.
I don't.
So I would be there. Or the North Pole. Christmas! This one's a dumb one, but what is your favorite color? Mine is orange. Any shade of orange, but my all-time favorite is a bright, 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 bright orange. Like, almost like the fruit orange, but a little bit brighter than that.
Mine's purple. I love, love, love the color dark, deep purple.
I like pink. All pink. Bright pink.
Oh.
I like blue, although I do like most colors. So, blue.
This one, I love this question a lot, because I've thought about it long and hard. Who would you choose to narrate your life? So if you could have a voiceover that's doing your documentary, who would you get? I'm always going to pick the same person every time. That's Joan Rivers. I'd
Really?
love to have her narrate my life. She'd just be fantastic.
What would she say?
She'd say, oh my God, what a freak he was. She'd be like, he had more work done than I did. And he's still alive. Whoop. But I think she'd make it a fun thing, but I ultimately would love Joan Rivers. And if she's not available, I'd also get my grandmother. Because I think she would know me better than everybody, and she'd do a good job, tell you like it is. Tina? Who would you get to narrate your life? Like, if you could do... A lot of people choose, what's that guy?
Morgan Freeman.
Angel Jones.
Yes, a lot of people choose him. I've seen him.
Honestly, I hate to say this, but honestly, nobody's going to want to narrate. It's boring. What are they going to say?
The question just is who would you pick?
I know. I wouldn't even care. Nobody. Listen,
No.
when the end of my days comes, just call the whisper chipper people and send me off.
She's not being compliant to everyone. She just needs to answer the question whether she wants it
Who
or
would
not.
you get? Probably Pee Wee Herman.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. All right, Lauren.
Or Sloth from the Goonies.
Oh my god.
She was great.
I think that would be perfect. 6 kids.
6, mama.
Oh my God.
Or the moms. Chunk.
Chunk.
Or I actually like Aunt Bethany.
Oh yes.
Is your house on 5 o'clock?
All right, Lauren's not answering either.
I don't know.
It could be anyone, living or dead.
I'd say Morgan Freeman. I love his voice.
So do I.
I do.
All right.
And what is your favorite next drink? Now, I have a lot, so I don't know if there's a favorite. I guess this is what you are in the mood for, because some nights, if you know that you're going to be driving home safely by someone else, and you're going to get a little crazy, then obviously there's certain drinks. But if you're just having a good night, you're only having 1 or 2, then that's a different story. It just depends on the mood. Because I'm not just going to get my favorite drink every single time. But if I had to pick an all-time favorite, it'd be a mango daiquiri with no whipped cream on top. Or the whipped
That's
top.
Frozen mango.
Yeah, frozen
Oh, that
mango
sounds
daiquiris.
It does sound good.
Mm.
I would have a mojito. I love them so much.
I would have Stoli vanilla and ginger ale. Or a pink starburst drink is really good.
I love mimosas.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we did have a write-in for Dear Doris.
Oh gosh, I want my glasses on. Okay, it says, Dear Doris, how do you balance adult children with how much a mother can give 100% to each child? Keep in mind, 2 adult children have more needs than the other 2. My main concern is, how does a parent cope with different children? How does a parent balance the attention needs per child in a family?
That's a hard question, I think. I'll let you start, Mom, since you have a bunch of children.
Yeah, I mean, it is there's no easy answer to that, but, you know, I do feel as though you have to acknowledge that just because the couple that aren't high need, they still need their mom. And you do need to remind yourself that they need your attention too. They might be the ones that would be getting the least amount. And it is important to make sure that you are keeping yourself aware of it and making sure that you're spending time with the ones that maybe don't need as much of your attention as you feel like the other ones do. You know, it isn't easy, but I just feel like you need to keep reminding yourself that all of your kids need their mom. And everybody's different, everybody's needs are different, but you're their mom, each and every one of them. So it's important for you to spend time with each and every one of them in their own way and do things that they need. What? It's you know, that's the way I feel it should be.
I'm saying.
No, I agree. DJ, what do you think?
I agree with my mom. I don't have kids.
But you are a child.
Yeah, my other 2 siblings right here have children. So if I put myself into their mindset, it's like Lauren said in a couple other videos before, like her priorities are her child, her work, and her schoolwork, and then sleep. That's the same concept of like having...
Well, her sleep was high on the list.
But I'm saying you
It was the
prioritize
cleaners, right?
on top of everything. Like your needy kids, yes, they all get the attention right away, but you're also going to give the other kids attention. So it's like you kind of have to prioritize. Like who's in dire straits, like needs that attention, right? 911, like they need help, so you go to them first. Then you work your way down to all of them, but you keep everyone in the same boat.
But I do want to interject one thing here, and I'm assuming that whoever wrote this has adult kids. And
Yeah, I think it says that on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
with 2 adult children.
okay, so that is, you know, adult kids, one of the biggest things that I have realized as a parent is that once your kid reaches a certain age and they are making their own decisions, you really don't have any power over them. And sometimes they're making poor decisions. And what happens then is they've made their poor decision and now they're dealing with it, the repercussions of it, and they need your help. But at the same time, there's a fine line in saying, look, you know, I love you very much, and I understand you need me because you've made a poor decision and this is your life now. But I also have to focus over here on the kid that maybe hasn't made a bad decision. You know, I mean, sometimes it is very hard. I take it that you've got two that are, maybe we'll say, higher maintenance. Are they higher maintenance because of issues that they're poor decisions? Are they higher maintenance because
Mental health. I mean, who
right?
knows?
You know, some of that is you're not going to be able to fix it, and you know, whether you shower all of your attention on the people that need it per se, but you have to also determine why do they need it. What is you know, what can I do to help that child? But also at the same time, sometimes you just gotta, unfortunately, it's a very difficult position as a parent with adult children that have made decisions, have done these actions, and now they're dealing with the repercussions. You really do have to just sit back and sometimes it's tough love. And sometimes it's you're supporting them, but there's not a whole lot that you can do, and you know, it is still a balance.
I'm going to interject and kind of, I do have a child, but I'm going to come from the standpoint of the child. You know, one of the children, and I could have, at different points in my life, been considered the high maintenance or the low maintenance. I suffer from some mental health, some severe anxiety, and there are times where I am down and out and struggling big time. And I know that puts a lot on my mom and my family. So I understand being the recipient of needing the extra, you know, attention. And I also understand then when it's someone else needs the extra attention. I get that, I think, because I've had that experience. But I also understand that as a child, I know I like to feel involved. I like to feel like, you know, my parents are taking time to like communicate with me or just make me feel like they've been thinking about me, you know. So being maybe the ones that aren't getting all the attention, I know for me, it's important to me to know that, you know, my parents, obviously they're thinking about me, and you know, I think everyone wants to feel like that. So I think it is important also to reach out to the ones that maybe aren't your top priority at the moment. Not, I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, like love-wise. Obviously, you love them all, but whoever you're, you know, have to spend most of your time or, you know, with, I think it's important that, you know, you still are reaching out to the ones maybe that don't need all the attention at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Laura, what do you think?
I think the attention depends on the child, each child personally. So, I don't know. I'd like to think of myself as a low maintenance kid. I mean, I've done, obviously, school problems, having a kid. I'm sure that stressed my mom out, but I don't take it personally when they spend, like if they spend time with you, focus on you or focus on you or focus on, I don't take that personally because I think it depends on the personality of each kid.
Right.
Meaning, like,
no, I get what you're saying, but I also
if you're
think
struggling and I know mom, you know, is focusing on you, mom will sometimes, just like, no, like sometimes mom will just say, hey, how's Avery doing today? That's all I need to be like, oh, my mom's thinking about us
Well,
today.
that's what I mean.
That's
that
what
was
I
my point.
No,
That-
I agree with you.
I think that is important, whether it's just a quick phone call or whatever, like going out to lunch or getting together, you know. I mean, our family's a little different, I think, from most families because there's a bunch of us and we are together a lot. You know, it's not like once a week, once a month, you know, we see each other all the time. So I think for us, it's a little bit different because we're close, you know. It's not like I can see that
We're all experiencing what that person is experiencing.
right, and we're
Different.
kind of open, I would say, for the most part. I would consider us, we know what's going on in everybody's lives for the most part, and everyone tries to be supportive of that. But as Lauren was saying, she said, you know, her personality, she wouldn't take offense to it, which I believe is true. But I think over time, if you feel like you're constantly kind of in the back on the burner, I don't like that feeling personally. I don't, you know, and it is kind of selfish feeling, you know, because you're thinking of yourself. But, you know, I think it's important that your kids don't feel like that.
Yeah. What do you have to say, TJ?
I'm an angel. So I don't get much attention. I was the angel of this household, so I don't get any special treatment.
That is not true. Anyone listening?
You all know.
Lightning bolts are coming flying through the windows at any moment.
Now I admitted up to my difficulties. This one here is given some difficulties.
We all have that black sheep,
Right.
and I would be the black sheep.
Oh, nobody is a
no.
black sheep. I don't
He
like
just
that
has some black
terminology.
spots. We all have some spots.
Some
Hey.
more than others.
Nobody is
Get the
perfect.
bleach. Get the
Nobody
bleach.
is perfect. And that's all that life is dealing with.
So that was like
Different
a
things.
really good question. I
That
think.
was a good
That was a
question,
good
but-
question. I don't like.
And that's
you
a
said,
tough one. I don't
There's
know.
no easy answer. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is open communication. Let everyone know. I just think let the kids know that maybe aren't receiving all of your attention. That you're thinking about them. You obviously love them, and I would think as long as you're trying to convey that, they would be understanding. I think.
Yeah. That's good.
Does anyone else have a question?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Do you have a question?
Anything you want to talk about?
I work a lot.
So do I.
Gotta pay them bills.
Lord have mercy. All right, everyone. That was kind of like a more somber one of our
Yes.
videos.
Yeah. Serious.
Yeah.
We're not used to being so
Well, this is
serious.
Dear Doris.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, thank you for writing in. We, like TJ said, we look forward to getting some more write-ins from you guys. Jesus.
Looks like a good.
He's a freak show.
You look like Lord have mercy. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us.
Maybe
Hopefully,
that.
I know it's been a while since we uploaded our last video. Hopefully, we'll do it more consecutively. We just find time to get together. Lauren and I go to school, work, kids. Mom works, kids. TJ works a lot. But hopefully we can get another one out there then for you guys. All right. Well, bye, everybody.
Will I turn it off?